All right, let's keep this party rolling and get to know some of the inductees here today, because this is really what we're all here to celebrate here tonight, and really what is a pretty spectacular evening here. All right, now it is time to give you some information about some of these enshrinees here into the Hall of Fame. Chapman's first ever #1 ranked individual, our first inductee, was a tenacious and fiery competitor who helped set in motion the 1980s men's tennis dynasty. The New Zealand import led Chapman to the first ever national championship in 1985 and left a lasting legacy on the courts. Check out this video on Troy Turnbull, tennis student athlete from the class of 1986.
He's a full four-time All-American. I think that just speaks for itself. When we, Chapman Tennis, burst onto the scene, national tennis scene in the early 1980s, it was Troy pretty much who put us on the map.
He had a wonderful attacking game. He was a big serve and volleyer. Had excellent reflexes at the net, really quick. I remember a strong forehand as well. We didn't have Hawkeye back then, so I can't tell if he foot faulted once in a while when he was on the other side of the net, but I'll leave that to Troy.
Well, one of the best ones I remember is when he beat Robert Segusto, who was a top 10 player and #1 in the world in doubles, and went on to win a gold medal in the Seoul Olympics in doubles, and that was a great match to watch. He also beat Yaya Doumbia, who was the #1 player in Africa at the time, and Larry Scott from Harvard. It was a great win for him also.
Troy was the type of player that wore his emotions on his sleeve. He was ultra competitive. Hated to lose in practice or in matches.
Played against him all the time, and it was always a tough match. And they would get very intense because tennis, it's a competition, to get your ranking on the team, and so all our matches were pretty competitive.
He used to berate himself and his opponent at times. And one quote that he often repeated was, and I'll do this in my best New Zealand accent, okay? Dude, I can't believe I'm losing to this guy. He couldn't beat my grandmother, and she's dead.
He was always part of the in crowd, with his good looks, his flowing locks, his wide grin, and most importantly, his accent. He was a very, very popular young man, let me say so.
Very well liked around the dorms and at school. One of my great friends, in fact, he was my best man at my wedding. We got married in Germany, and he was there to be my best man. I was honored to have that happen. And Troy, I'd like to congratulate you. It's a great accomplishment here at Chapman. I'm honored to be your friend, and I'd just like to say congratulations on the great achievement. It's a great honor.
Well deserved for Troy. I know that. I'm sure he's awfully proud. His family's awfully proud. So are we. And I'm glad it's finally here. And big congratulations to him.
Troy, congrats so much on this. It's long overdue. You deserve your spot in the Hall of Fame, for sure. And I just want to say thank you for putting your heart into Chapman Tennis. It made such a big difference in our program. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Hall of Fame Committee Chair, Jack Bowerly.
Listen, thank you. Listen, those accolades of Troy are fantastic to relive. And before I officially invite Troy up to be inducted into the Hall, I first, from the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, I want to thank you. As you know, we sold this event out. I'm Jack Bowerly, and I chair with Doug and the rest of the committee you met. So thank you for issuing us a problem right now. We have a sellout, right? And this is going to continue. So thank you for that. And the other thing I want to mention, too, is remember, tomorrow night is very special as well. At the halftime of the football game is when we unveil the plaque where the names are etched in stone, and that will be on the wall in Victory Way on the other side of the athletic complex, and that will be there forever. So at halftime tomorrow, for those of you, hustle to Victory Way. We're going to unveil it in some great photo ops. Okay. All right, back to Troy. I need to add just a little bit of color to what was said by Coach Edlis and Vic and so on. You know, I was a fellow student with Troy in the 80s, right? And what I want you to do right now, real quick, look at this picture of Troy on the playing card, please. Look at that photo, okay? You're looking at that photo and you're thinking, oh man, that was probably when he won the national championship. Look at that emotion, right? No, When Troy set foot on that tennis court, his competitive spirit did not finish until we were icing him down in the athletic training room. Okay, and that's something that resonates. Listen, the accolades you heard, he competed against Olympians, and he's one of the very best to swing that racket here at Chapman. But what resonated for me was this, and so much, let me tell you this real quick too. What do we have? Do we have 4 tennis courts or 6? How many do we have out there? We had 4. We had 4 tennis courts in the corner of the dirt track over there, right? If you have not seen the Anderson Tennis Pavilion, please visit that, okay? And President Strupa, Erin sends her love. Erin Anderson would be here tonight. Her son is getting married, so she can't be here. But listen, so in terms of what Troy would do, all of a sudden, the dorms, we had 4 dorms at that time, they would come out because, not because they knew Troy was playing, because they could hear Troy playing. That's right. And we had that perimeter sound. And to be quite honest and very transparent, athletic director Penny Bresch and I, we'd actually lob a little phone call to campus, say, hey, we got a good tennis match. Why don't you come on out and have a peek at what's going on? We wanted a layer of that competitive spirit. It was contagious and infectious. So, all right, so we've arrived. This is why we're here. So I'm going to ask Troy to come up here in a moment and share a few words. So, Coach Edlis, I think we've done it, bud. I think we're here. Vic, Ed, Alex, all you guys, we've arrived. So, I would like everybody in this room right now to join this tennis family and our extended Chapman family in welcoming in the newest member to the Chapman University Athletic Hall of Fame, Troy Turnbull. Get up here, my man. We got a photo real quick. I think Larry's going to grab a photo. You hold this. Come on over here.
All right. Wow. Surrey, timer for 3 minutes. As I get a little bit older in years, I try to challenge myself with. All right, just give me 3 minutes. Just go like this when I've had enough. I like to challenge myself. So tonight I'm challenging myself with no written speech. So I thought I'd wing it. So I think I've been stitched up a little bit. I didn't realize I'd be following Mr. Carlos on his speech. And that was bad enough. And then when I realized he'd stolen half my speech, I was really worried. So. I just want to take you back to when I first got to the States when I was 17 and I got to the airport and I'd heard stories and, this isn't the safest place. So I'm standing there on the phone with my bags between my legs. It was a phone that you had to pick up because there was no cell phones back there. I was looking around, making sure no one was going to steal my bags. And I made one phone call and the guy said, sorry, you can't stay with us. That was my only plan coming to the States. We're having problems at the house. So he gave me a number of someone who had put a New Zealander up 3 years ago. So I called this guy, and he said, yeah, sure, come on down, catch the bus to Long Beach. So I caught the bus down to Long Beach. And if he hadn't have, offered a place at his house, I ended up staying there for 3 months. He had kids, so I was able to play tennis tournaments. But that one act of kindness kind of made me be here tonight. If I hadn't have got that act of kindness, I would have been on the next plane. My only scholarship was Cooks County Junior College in Texas. And people ask me, was that in Waco? I'm not even sure where it is, but and that's really little things like that. And I think my 40 years of, when I went to school here, The two things that stand out for me from being an international student is kindness and generosity. And we've heard about the generosity tonight. And the other things from what I felt coming to America, and we had an international team. When I was there, we had a Kenyan, we had a Canadian, we had an Indian, we had a Swedish guy, we had a couple of others with Americans. And when you multiply what we had over the last 40 years at every university in the States with teams and international players mixing with Americans, that's done a lot of good for what Mr. Carlos was talking about. So as everyone said here already tonight, it's really important, these occasions. It's really important to continue this and foster this, and I think it just makes the world a better place. I've got a few people I want to thank. And again, it's back to generosity. Andy Johnson down here, he was, everyone needs to applaud Andy Johnson. Andy started off as a tennis coach, and then he became the benefactor and helped all of us come here and play on scholarships. And he was part of the team, and he would come to our matches and stuff, and it's just an honor to have you here and Olivia here tonight. I also want to say a big gratitude to Mike, my coach, and his wife, Laura. Mike was putting together a new team. Mike looked so young because he was 26 when he was the coach, and he was putting together a new team, and he was flashy, he had a little bit of Andy's money, so I was lucky to run into Mike at the right time, and he put together a great team. And there's 5 of them here tonight: John Hancock, Biz, Roger, and Vic. And we had a ceremony, we had a reunion last night at Mike's house, and a few other guys who couldn't make it this morning. So a couple of guys, Terrell Davis, who I hadn't seen in 40 years. And we just sat around and realized that we hadn't really changed that much. You know, maybe we've got a little bit more mature, but only just. So it was a great reunion last night. So I guess to sum it all up, yeah, I've taken a lot out of the time I was here at Chapman. It was, 1982 to 86, young guy in California. It was like nirvana. It was awesome. So it was an absolute privilege to be here, and it's made a big impact on my life. And thanks, everyone, for coming, and best of luck in the future. Thank you.